Okay, you're welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about color variable. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create another folder here. Okay, I'm going to create another folder. Where am I going to leave the folder now? Am I going? Okay, let me put it right inside CSS. I think that would be okay. Yeah, right inside CSS. Create another folder here. Call it colors. Okay. So inside this color, we're going to create color variables, but let's just say color. We are going to also call it colors to create a file inside it, call it colors.php. Okay, so inside these colors, we are going colors.css, please. .css. So inside these colors, we are going to add every color variable. Okay, so I'm going to actually import or copy the ones that I use for his academy, because that is what we are going to use. I will now explain it for you. Okay, um, I will just go and open the one I already used. I will go back to my academy. That is where Allah, and this is their card. Okay, let's look for where I have the color. Yes, I set the color. Is it here? Okay, look at it here. Even creating a folder for it, I think, is it really necessary? Or is it not better to keep it in a folder or CSS? Because I'm not creating one that two. Yeah, so I will remove a folder. This folder I created, I will remove it directly in CSS because I'm not creating more than two color variable. Okay, so I will bring this one up here. This colors.css, I'll bring it up here. Say move, so it will now be moved. So I will delete this one. You know what I did? I just drag it and I point it here. So it move away from, it will just move away from this folder to the main folder. I will delete this. Okay, so it will now be directly here. It's still okay. Good. Now let me explain this. Before I explain it, let me see if I can create this manually, a bit manually for you. um, if you want to use color variable in CSS, instead of typing color directly in CSS, you can use color variable to do that. How do you do that? Don't worry, I know you might get confused at this point if you've not used this before, but don't worry. If you are confused, your confusion will soon clear. But just follow me. Just type in uh, colon root. Okay, root. Okay, then inside this root now you create a variable. Maybe you want, before you start creating, I showed you this before we start creating a website. You need to have a color scheme. That's the color you are looking at. So this purple is the main color. You understand? That's the main color. Now this one is highlight color. You get me? All right, then you need to say get color palette, as in the kind of color you want to use for your website. Very important. And that color must match the brand, okay, of the what you are building. Okay, if you are building for MTN, you're going to use more of yellow. Okay, maybe dim yellow, something like that. If you are building for any organization, just look at their color. It's very important. Choose their own color, and that color will be the main color. You can call it anything. It's a variable. You can define variable as anything at all. Just by the way you define variable in CSS here is just type in double hyphen, then you now type in the name of the variable, maybe main underscore color. I used to call it main color. You can call it any other color, any other thing, but because this is the default or the dominant color, okay, that's why I call it main color there. Okay, then you type in the color. Let's say if red is the color, now you now type in red. It mustn't be this kind of red. You can use the HTML color picker. Just type in HTML color picker on Google. Go to Google. So you here you can now select the color. Let's say if you want to use purple now, you can click on purple somewhere where purple is until you get a color that matches what you want. Yes, if this is the color you're looking at, you can copy this, or you can even copy it from here. Okay, then you can now come here and paste it. It has become the main color. Okay, do you see it will show you the color? You can come down, do the same thing, define other colors, highlight color. Highlight color is the color that you are likely going to use for other highlights like buttons. You want to highlight text and all stuff like that. Okay, define highlight color. Define all the color variables you need. I believe you now understand my point. At least to some extent, you define highlight color. Maybe highlight color. Your highlight color might be orange. Okay, define it, so on and so forth. You keep defining the color. After defining it, there's a way you can use it. I will show you. Maybe let me open a CSS file. Before I show you how you can use it, let me show you the color variable we are going to use. I will copy all this and paste here. So you see that we define a lot of color variables, so we use a lot of colors here. Okay, use this. This is the main color. You see that? We also want to tint the color a bit, either to make it a bit dark, a bit light. You see this one? This one are lighter parts. This one is the lightest part of it. Okay, and this one is highlight, the highlight color we use for it. Okay, and this one is for danger, like red button. You want to use the danger button. Then this one is highlight also. Okay, there are some highlight that might use this. Okay, so continue downward until you get here. This is where we actually, this particular color is for database. You know, database, those colored boxes in a database, you can use it for those colored boxes. You can also use it for button. Some of this, like this one, can go for danger. Okay, this one is when you highlight, for example, my academy. If you highlight on a box, the icon will show shouting red. That is the red here, and so on and so forth. So we are going to use the same color so that we maintain the same color scheme for this organization that we are building website for. This color might be so much, you understand, but you know, some of these colors are used either once in our project. We use this one most often. This one most often. This one highlight font. So this and this are used most often. Other ones might use either once or twice in our project. So if you are creating your own project, you might not have as many color variable as we have. It depends on what you are working on. Hope you understand. So let me cut it. I believe you know what I did. I just clicked here to close it up, so it's easy for me to copy. I will just copy it, then I'll go to this color and paste it. I'll paste it here. Awesome. So we now have our colors, the colors we are going to refer to as we work. Okay, so having gotten the colors, I'll close this. Maybe let me show you how to use this color. I will show you later. I will show you how to use it practically, but I will show you where I used it. Okay, so let me open this project. Then let me open Academy, open CSS. Okay, I'm opening folder instead of file. You know, this is what you also have to master. When you click on file, open file instead of opening folder, so it will open file for you. Okay, let's go to this where rather. So let's go to CSS. Okay, so let's take this for example. So you see where we use the color variable here. Okay, we refer to a particular color variable, color shade. So for you to use the color variable you define here, you have to refer to it by using var. Then you type in the name of this color variable inside bracket like I did here. Once you do it, it will be referred to this one to look for. It will look for that name, okay, here, and give you the color you need. You understand? That's how to use it. But don't worry, we're getting there. Let me close this. We are getting there. After defining the color variable, the next thing we are going to do is that we're going to link all the CSS file to the head section and all the JavaScript file to the footer. Okay, that is the next thing we're going to do, but I think we are going to do that in the next tutorial, so that this tutorial will not be too lengthy. Just take your time to type this. Let me scroll down gradually for you. Type all this the way it is. That is if you want to use the same color as I'm using, but if you want to use your own color, you don't need to type these ones that I'm typing. Just type your own color. Use HTML color picker to pick all the colors you need. Okay, but if you want to use mine, type, maybe later you can edit it, because sometimes when you use your own, if you are still new in this field, you might somehow get confused, but if you are no longer new, you won't get confused at all. Okay, so just let me scroll down gradually, so as I'm scrolling, you can pause and type. When you finish, you scroll again, you see me scrolling until you type all these. Okay, very good. So that said, I think we are good to go. So in the next tutorial we'll continue. Thank you very much.